controversial importation for Pontypool, Peter Kingston, the England international. And at the scrummage, the ball cleverly held by Pontypool, and Llanelli attempted offside. So the first psychological blow struck by Pontypool, and not a difficult shot at goal confronting their ace goal kicker, Peter Lewis. And incidentally, the crowd may see Peter Lewis go over 300 points for the season. He's on 299. Just a suggestion of breeze, that's all, in Peter Lewis's face, but not a difficult kick for 3-0. Those are the first points of the quarter-final. The crowd seemed to hold its breath at the town end, the Pontypool supporters, that is, and the cheer was late, which suggests that it wasn't the cleanest of strikes, but it's 3-0 to Pontypool. Gary Pearce, not aiming this time for the forwards, going for length. Right up as far as Goldsworthy. Goldsworthy, of course, the standoff half of Pontypool, but without his scrum half partner, David Bishop. A regret that he can't take part in this game. But he's somewhere in the crowd, incidentally. A dropout 22. Charged down, half by Townley. Now Jeremy Cooper very close to the breakdown. That's Pontypool's goal line. Douglas out to Pearce. There are lots of men over. It's a poor pass. Lewis is there for Pontypool, and now it's Bleddyn Taylor who gets in on the act. And that should have been the first try of the game, but a lamentable pass from Pearce to the centre. What a shame from Llanelli's point of view. Douglas serving it out to Phil Lewis, aiming for the corner flag. What bad luck, but it's still... Well, that'll be a controversial try. I wonder if the ball came forward from Phil Lewis, but the try's been awarded to Buchanan. So Llanelli in the lead. It came from the scrummage, Phil Bennett.
A good scrum ball by Llanelli, which came out quickly to Mark Douglas, and a dive pass to Phil Lewis, who chipped over the Pontypool cover. He seemed to have knocked the ball on, but Buchanan was there, got the rebound and dived over for the try.
This is Martin Gravel, 10 metres from touch, with the conversion attempt. It's a good kick! What an opening to this cup tie at Stradey Park. Pontypool take the lead. Suddenly, Llanelli have it back. The try by Buchanan, and a fine kick by Martin Gravel. Goldsworthy. Little bit of grease on top of the pitch, and Cooper couldn't hold his feet. But that's his recovery, and this is Delaney. And the Llanelli forwards taking on Pontypool, winning ball for Douglas. It's in space. Peter Lewis trying to cut off Donovan. Well, it's a big crowd, and it's big excitement at Stradey Park. My word. Phil May against John Perkins is the battle at the front. A little further back on the right, Eddie Butler jumping against Rhys Thomas. Rhys Thomas bringing it down, but barging goes against the home team. The Pontypool pack in the background, containing no fewer than 6 full international players. And the forward battle is going to be a tremendous one. Will Llanelli's pack, without a cap player since the withdrawal of Pickering, can the Scarlets hold Pontypool? Peter Kingston, Pontypool scrum half, waits just outside their 22. Phil May takes the ball. Steve Jones, number 2 from Pontypool, supported by Price. This is Huish. There are 3 of them to confront him. Away comes Kingston. It's in space, and it bounces to touch. Well, what a tremendous battle there promises to be at scrum half between this former England international, capped 5 times for England, and Wales's current scrum half, Mark Douglas. The halfway line on the left. Well won by Buchanan and delivered by Douglas. Out go the Pontypool back row, and Pearce loses 2 of them, getting almost as far as halfway. Good ruck. Pearce is back on his feet, and that's Peter Hopkins up to the Pontypool 22. Peter Hopkins, one of the promising new generation of Llanelli backs. And isn't it a fascinating game already? The forwards, and every time the Scarlet backs get it, Pontypool pack has to backpedal. Buchanan up the front for Scarlets. Phil May, the captain. Lawrence Delaney tucked in. Rhys Thomas, and then the back three. Alan Davies, Mark Lynch, and Jeremy Cooper. That's Steve Jones for Pontypool. Well, Rhys Thomas is taking a lot of line-out ball. Here comes Peter Hopkins, steps inside Lee Jones. That's a rash pass by Peter Morgan, and Gallagher's getting away for Pontypool. It's still under control as Phil Lewis goes back to make it safe. Breakout by young Paul Gallagher. 6 for Pontypool, Brown, 7 is Huish. On the right, Cooper is 7 for Scarlets, 8 is Lynch. The 2 6s are Alan Davies for Llanelli and Squire. And that was number 4, Phil May, winning. Not very tidy possession. Huish got down on Cooper. Douglas uses his strength to make the ball safe for Llanelli. There's been a penalty against Pontypool for being through too quickly. Butler says to Mr. Bevan, do you really know what you're talking about? And that costs Eddie Butler 10 metres. Perhaps he should have known better. Even captains have to be respectful to referees. That's the touch finder. Pontypool's 10-metre line. Goldsworthy moves it to Lee Jones. Oh, great cut by the young Pontypool centre. 2 breaks. Looking for Mark Brown. He found Butler. Brown takes up the running. He accelerates. Goff Davies has the ball. Now Llanelli's turn to look shell-shocked by the pace of the Pontypool attack. And the 4,000 or 5,000 Pontypool fans at Stradey Park open their lungs. Well, there may be a rumour around that the Pontypool backs can't run, but what did you think of that tremendous break by young Lee Jones? Let's look at it again. 2 cracks right down the centre.
Wonderful break by Lee Jones there. Right, split the centre down the middle and should have won the ball.
Pontypool within the 22 of Llanelli. The ball with Goldsworthy. Peter Lewis running at an angle. He's taken out Hopkins and another defender. But now they're backpedaling. Goff Davies for Pontypool. Jeremy Cooper's up there. Goff Davies breaks the tackle. Goes back to strength. Runs into Mark Lynch, who holds him up. Was it Delaney who got the bump? Kingston, meanwhile, is forcing Llanelli back as far as their 22, but his kick is too full. It's in touch on the full. Kerry Townley checking the signal with tall Phil May at the front of the line. John Perkins crouches, prepared to compete. Butler brings it down. There's compression going against one of the teams. It goes against Llanelli. What's Butler's decision? As you might expect, it's given to Peter Lewis. The mark will be 15 metres infield and the posts yawn. But I can promise you they won't look quite like that to Peter Lewis. Well, the excitement and the crowd here perhaps hasn't been like this since the Maoris were here at Stradey Park, and they've hardly stopped shouting. From the 4,000 or 5,000 Pontypool supporters here, there'll be a great roar if this kick from Peter Lewis can tie the scores. It looks good. Just over the bar. The point has been made that the wind is quite stiff down there, and although the kick was cleanly made, the wind nearly blew it back. But it's 3 points and the scores at Stradey Park are level. 6-6. Dropout 22 for Pontypool. Phil May bobs it down to Douglas. Off go the Scarlet backs again. Peter Morgan picks up speed. He's lost Bleddyn Taylor. He's got back to the 22. The Scarlets ruck well. It's out with Pearce, but he hasn't got any support. And the Pontypool backs caught offside in the midfield. Moment of drama. A penalty to Llanelli right in front of the posts. This is not difficult for Gary Pearce. He should restore the Llanelli lead. It's straightforward, through the post. 3 more points. 9-6 to Scarlets.
By Gary Pearce.
Gary Pearce, his first points of the afternoon. That That's the halfway line. There are 4 minutes of the first half left. The lead is with Llanelli at 9-6. Butler to Kingston. Mark Douglas. Eddie Butler got the pass. And Kingston waits. It's almost like a conveyor belt. Huish drives on. Looks for the ball. Has it from Perkins. Into the 22 go Pontypool. Squire picks up. This is a tremendous battering for the Pontypool pack. Goldsworthy drops the goal. Pearce foils him by being in the way. It's with Mark Brown. There is support there from Lee Jones. It's sent infield from Gallagher. Pontypool still holding the possession. At length, weary Llanelli have to kill it from the wrong side. Another kick by Lewis, which could tie the scores again, but a difficult one. The Pontypool crowd say yes. Oh, what a fine kick! That's the stuff of which cup tie victors are made of. A very fine kick under pressure by Peter Lewis. It's 9-9. Steve Jones again. That's Pontypool's goal line. Things are as desperate as that for the cup holders. It's loose. And Kingston just got a hand on it. It's a dropout 22, is it? No, it went down from a Pontypool hand. This is the kind of pressure Pontypool like to exert on their opponents. Now they're feeling some of their own medicine, tasting it. Douglas goes again. Kingston read him. It's with Cooper, playing the ball at Stonehall. Pearce sending it to Mark Douglas again. But strange that they should run back to the power centre of this game. And Perkins sends it to Kingston. Goldsworthy has it. Cooper has put him in trouble. He must roll away. He hasn't rolled away. He's been penalised. Let's have another quick look at that. And the ball came back so safely. And the tragedy is just a loss of footwork on the greasy surface, and the ball is not released. That's the reason for the penalty. Martin Gravel prepares to try and restore Llanelli's lead on the stroke of half-time. He's done that. Llanelli moves ahead. It's 12-9 at the interval at Stradey Park. All penalties to Pontypool. A couple of penalties to Llanelli, but they have scored a precious try. They lead by 3 points. Sussman is on the boil. So with a score 12-9 to Llanelli, we pick up the game again, just a little way into the second half at Stradey Park. Nothing Phil May could do to prevent Pontypool winning the ruck, and Taylor moves it to Peter Lewis. Goff Davies into the 22 of Llanelli. Bleddyn Taylor still with the attack, but it's kicked clear. And now Lee Jones must go back into the Pontypool half to gather. He hasn't got much time. Oh, they didn't make sure of him, and he goes back to strength. And he sent it forward. The referee may be playing advantage because Lee Jones may have handled the ball while effectively checked. What's he going to do? Oh, it seems to be a set scrum. This Lee Jones in the centre has shown that he can run at the Llanelli midfield and present them with problems. He's having a good game. Incidentally, comes from West Wales. Mark Douglas to put the ball into a scrimmage on the halfway line. And that seems likely to be the story of the next half hour as the pressure goes on. And can the Scarlets, drawing on all their character, withstand it? A quick heel is the answer. That's Gravel putting it behind Peter Lewis, almost as far as the Pontypool 22. No way forward for Lewis, no angle either. And Llanelli able to play a surprising amount of this game up near their opponent's 22. That's well done by Scarlets. Pearce starts running. Peter Morgan goes for the crash ball. It doesn't pay. Squire counter-attacks. Gets as far as the Pontypool 10-metre line. Look at that for distribution. That's Lee Jones. What confidence he's playing with. He came up to take the ball from the scrum half. Phil Bennett, an interesting midfield player.
Yes, and the best player on the park this afternoon, David, so far in the midfield has been Lee Jones, the Pontypool centre. We've all heard about the Llanelli midfield. Jones has played exceptionally well and has looked the best attacking centre on the field.
It's inside Pontypool's Llanelli's 10-metre line. It's with Goldsworthy. It's now with Taylor. Can't get hold of it. Doesn't seem to have gone forward. That's Huish. Huish running, doing a man. This is Mark Brown on the 22, opening those long legs of his and sprinting. Now Huish is back with the attack. That's Llanelli's goal line. It's for them to use. Kingston sends it infield to Gallagher. He took the wrong option. He's taken down by Buchanan, but it's still danger. Llanelli offside. What an anticlimax to some tremendous rugby. Pontypool still in that strong position, and Peter Lewis says he'll kick for goal. Big T for the ball, gardened by Peter Lewis. Yet again, the Pontypool fullback asked to tie the score. It's through the middle, it's 12-12. Well, that's 4 penalty goals. He kicked the 6 which beat Bridgen, and that demonstrates the value of this man, this quiet doctor to the furious Pontypool pack and his 14 colleagues. Graham Price, incidentally, the only member of Pontypool side ever to have played at Stradey Park. He was here a dozen years ago on their last visit. Kingston to Mark Brown. Brown is tremendously quick for such a tall man. That's what won him his cap in the autumn. And Pontypool look as if they'll have to work for them all again. Llanelli competes hard. It's with Goldsworthy. That's Bleddyn Taylor picking up speed, running back to strength. The forwards are with him, as you might expect. Squire has picked up. And they roll the Scarlets out of the way. They drive over the 22 line. Kingston waits anxiously. This is Goldsworthy. This is Mark Brown. Releasing. Price the pickup. This is magnificent play by Pontypool, but they have yet to finish it with points. Can they do that now? It's Lewis. It's Lewis. He's well tackled. He's missed by Hopkins. He's still going. There's a penalty. He's taken high. That was desperation on the part of Llanelli. Somehow felt that they had to stop him. They went high.
Yes, Peter Lewis had brushed off a couple of tackles. He cut back inside, and I think a reflex tackle there. I don't think it was meant to do him a great deal of harm, but it was definitely a high tackle. It was dangerous, and deservedly a penalty to Pontypool. But magnificent play by their forwards to set up that opportunity for Peter Lewis.
Can Pontypool go into the lead for the second time? That's a yes. Peter Lewis, despite the shaking up he had, recovers to nose Pontypool ahead at Stradey Park. It's Pontypool's 22 line. Mark Douglas holds the ball, the referee just organising the front rows. Llanelli win the ball, but under great difficulty. Pearce into the hands of Squire as he looks for support. The Pontypool back row quicker there than Llanelli. And they get a penalty, do the Scarlets, for a hand at work on the ground by Pontypool. So the penalty awards continue, and Gary Pearce is about to try and kick the latest one from a range of 30 to 35 metres. That's the situation, and that's the 12 points that he hopes to improve on. Can Gary Pearce tie the score for Llanelli? Deep breath. Is it 3 points? Yes, it is! Yes, it is! Llanelli are back on turn.